tripping. But I had to really sit and think about what he was saying. He didn't say it was bad. He said they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say they weren't buying. He did say they were buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, my focus was I wanted to eat first and not be concerned about what I was putting out there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, mostly I did black and white sketch drawings and portraits and stuff like that. That wasn't moving because everybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can do that. And so the small figurines is what really kind of put my foot out there. It was cute, it was simple, and it wasn't difficult to think about. And so I did that probably for about 3 years. I had my first solo exhibition, which was You Won't Forget Me, which was at the now defunct East Space Gallery. That was my first solo exhibition. I had also had gallery opportunities at Gallery 253, which was then off of Peter Street. That was owned by Asanto Banks. And then also had work with Andre over at Art on File.
Yeah.
Art on File.
Mm-hmm.
So those avenues really opened the door and kind of, you know, introduced me to network, other artists, and definitely building my collector base.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the work I've seen of yours at the Auburn Library.
Mm-hmm.
What's the library
Mm-hmm.
called? And it was Southern. It was all Southern stuff.
Yes, that
Mm-hmm.
was Grit Scales Glory, the Southern Way exhibition. First time I showed that was at Chattanooga African American Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of me moving away from the simple figurines, but still remaining within a life that I was familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And those were inspired by my great-grandfather's photographs. So I am Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Still, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still Southern. I still believe in church hats and going to church and Sunday dinners and being with the family and all those things, you know, manners, polite. Those who are familiar with Southern life, there is a very slow, laid-back type of way to our lifestyle. And so depicting that and kind of giving homage to that was through the Southern Way exhibit. Mm-hmm.
So, like, these are conscious decisions, like you're moving from one period of your creativity to another?
You know what? Not necessarily conscious. It may be mood-based.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it may be something that's inspiring me. So, like, you know, you're most people encourage you to stay within a series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't move from one thing to another. Find this thing, latch on to it, and that's all you're supposed to do for the rest of your life. I pretty much have ADHD, and I really don't think I can.
Yeah.
I have difficulty with that because my mind is all over the place. I'm influenced by so much. I do a whole lot of reading. I'm inspired by a lot. You know, if you're an artist, you could just see something and that triggers something, and it's not going to trigger that same mood over a course of period of time. And so, no, I can't necessarily say I on purpose chose to do something. If I catch something that I feel like people kind of lock on to, is something that they love, is something that they're purchasing more, then I'll move toward that and see where that goes. It's not always financial based because my present body of work is not based upon finances. Not to say that people aren't purchasing it, but it's the one that I'm most passionate about, which is the Fair Game Project. I had difficulty moving toward that because I did not want to lose my collector base, but wanted to speak about real issues that I felt were happening within the Black and Latino community, and being self-aware.
Tell us a little bit more about that. Yeah, that sounded very interesting. Tell us a little bit more about the Fair Game Project.
Well, the Fair Game Project is my artist advocacy on the behalf of, what's happening with specifically the African American male, what's happening within Black and Latino communities with police brutality, with the prison industrial complex, wealth disparities, all of the to me oppressive things. So we're in a place in which we feel seasoned and in light, and we feel like we've had all these progressives, and we have a black man as our president. Yet we are still daily being
hunted down and on the street.
Daily it's an issue that's happening. And so I was uncomfortable speaking about that because I didn't want to lose my collective base. So I latched on to the idea in 2007. I didn't even move on it until like 2011, 2012. Because I was like, people ain't gonna buy this.
And what has the response been like?
It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely don't not do something because you're worried about whether people are going to buy it or not. Some things, some things is you hear stuff in the spirit. Some stuff you're moved by it. If it's something that you're on fire and you're passionate about, I say do it. And don't worry about risk. Being an artist is a risk, period.
Yes.
Artists are natural risk takers.
Yep.
We naturally go against the grain. We naturally don't go with the flow. That's just the makeup of who we are. And so don't not do something based upon what other people are thinking. So that's a really big thing for me. I'm a hip hop head. I love hip hop. So back in the day, there was this group. I guess they were kind of one-hit wonders, Fushnikins. You remember Fushnikins?
Yep.
So Fushnikins had this song called Lashmu, and Lashmu meant, we don't have nothing to prove. And so I definitely live by that. I have nothing to prove to anybody but myself. Any decisions that I make for myself creatively, I'm making it for myself. I'm not making it for other people.
Mm-hmm. Shaq rap with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
He mumbled his way through. Yes. Yep. Very nice. Well, that's a good message. Good message to keep out of their career.
Yeah.
I know that for me, ideas come all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm working on something and I get ideas of something else, and I keep sketchbooks and I have to write them out, and so I won't forget them. Mm-hmm. And eventually one day, I will have the time to just work on those ideas on and on and on. Mm-hmm. Is that the same? You find that the same to you?
So I try to keep a notepad, sketchbook. I try to keep something with me. It's very difficult. Thank God for iPhone. You can speak something. We ain't had that back in the day. You got to do your Walkman, say something to your Walkman, cut it off, roll it back. Notepad. Notepads are still. I'm still very analog. Mm-hmm. In most ways in my life. While I definitely appreciate technology, don't go against that, but for the most part, I'm very analog with my life, and so I need it written down. I need tangible. Artists are tangible. We need the touch.
A feeling.
We need the feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's important to me. Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way that with like paper. I'm a pencil artist. I love drawing, and I'm at the store and I'm touching the paper, the paper that I feel is right. Like, yep, I need that book.
It's very difficult for me to get down with even though I still I read books through PDF, through Kindle on my phone, but I need to physically touch and highlight and make my notes and mark. That's learning for me. That's for me. It's different for everybody else. Millennials, they probably gonna have holograms. They just gonna bring stuff up here.
The babies now are the ones that are gonna
but
virtual reality.
But the crazy thing about it is, Steve Jobs, he didn't allow his children to deal with technology. I read an article on that. The founder of this thing that we all use had his children go to a school that was non-tech based, period, because he realized the breakdown of learning that happened. And that's for the man that created the stuff that we use. Right. So that says a lot to me. If you didn't even allow your own children to deal with the iPhones and the iPads, because he recognized that imagination way outweighs what you do with technology, because it does dumb you down to me. It does. And so I think it should be a balance.
Yes.
It should be a balance.
A balance, yes. Not one too much than the other. I think I did read that, and I thought to myself, well, that means he knows what he's putting in those iPads and iPhones, and don't want his kids to have it.
Don't want your kids to have it. But that says some stuff. It says some stuff. So you think about hip hop artists. Do you allow your kids to listen to that? No. No, I don't want my kids. Do your kids go to public school? No, my kids go to private school. So you understand what I'm saying? So Wealth understands that. People in the game, they get that. But for us, you kind of left to figure that stuff out on your own as to what you expose.
You're sold a dream anyways along with it. So you think it's a good thing. You think it's a good thing.
Right.
But the balance is right, because nowadays kids are all about the digital, and even artists are doing a lot of digital artwork, and their talent is insane. And it comes through the practice and the knowing of how to use the programs and so on. And friend of mine, Wade Harrison, Wade, he always says, what happens when the lights go out and there's no electricity? I was like, well, that's why I still have pencils and paper, But what about those artists who got used to that? They're not go through the process that we went through, or those before us, and they had traditional means. Yeah. Well,
yeah. I think like we just said, balance. I
Balance.
think a little bit of everything keeps you from destroying the whole life.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I forget exactly how we came across each other. I used to smoke a lot. I don't anymore, but so lots of things I don't remember. But I remember that we were in a show. I organized a show, and it was the Power of Women, and you had your artwork in there.
Yes.
So, what are some of those projects that you worked on since then? And do you do a lot of group art shows? Because you mentioned about some solo shows.
Yeah. I did more. How I even got to solo shows is because I was doing a lot of group shows. I don't know if you remember Damaris.
Yes.
You remember Damaris? So Damaris was doing a whole lot of group shows, and she was doing a whole lot of collectively bringing artists together. And at that time, it was kind of like a movement happening in Atlanta. It was a major arts movement, I would say, amongst many of the artists. And, we were kind of like all a collective and working together. And so did a lot of group shows through Damaris. What did she have? I think she had a Men Are Human Too exhibit. She had something over at Jawology. She had one over off of Peter Street. And she was the one who introduced me to Terrence over at East Face Gallery, which is the crazy thing. I knew Terrence from back in the day because my ex-husband worked at what was then a music store, because those don't exist, at the airport. He was manager over there, and I knew Terrence, and he had opened up a gallery, which was insane. And so connected with him and did a lot of group shows through his gallery. So yeah, I did more group shows, especially through Art on 5. Andre was doing a lot of group events, and so did a lot through them. And so by 2007 is when I had my first solo. Is
that something that you advise artists to do? Get involved in the group shows?
Yeah. So not just me. For those who have, I guess, kind of gone through any school, that's one thing professors will advise, that you do a lot of juried, a lot of group shows to kind of get your foot in the door, because most people definitely have a heavier standing than you do, and especially when you're just getting your foot in the door, it's important that you're trying to figure out how to stand, amongst the others. And, definitely the opportunity that you provided for me, that opened the door for me. That opened the door for me, because through that show I did eventually sell that piece, because another lady was connected to somebody that was connected to somebody. So group shows, definitely, it opens doors for you. I would say more heavily do group shows than being focused on solo shows, because through group shows it helps you develop your body of work and your voice.
Yeah. And one of the things that I like about group shows, and the whole reason on why we continue to do them, was because some artists don't have experience doing any kind of show, and putting their artwork out. And it helps to be around other artists who may know or have a little bit more experience, so they can get that advice, so they can get that hands-on and say, oh, I need to present my work a little better, or I need to do this, I need to do that.
I was just about to say that. Even with the group shows that you were doing, you force professionalism. So it's like you send out an email, all y'all gonna be in this, but your stuff need to be ready to hang. It's $5 if it's not. It forces your professionalism, and it teaches you a lot of stuff. And it also teaches you, like you were saying, like how to present yourself and to get a grasp of your voice. So yeah.
All right, very nice. So people want to check out your work online, where do we go?
Shanequagay.com.
Okay. Are you on the social medias?
Of course. All Shanequa Gay handles: Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, and Facebook. Yeah. Don't forget FB.
There's no other Shanequa Gays out there?
Where? Like
in the world? Yeah.
Nah, bro, Google. No.
Yeah, because sometimes people don't have their name as their handle. Like,
nah, I'm not.
Because it'll be other people.
I'm the only one. Shanequa Gay. Shanequa Gay. That's it. That's it. I'm the only one.
Nice. What can we look forward to in 2015 and 16?
2015, 2016. So, tonight I have our pickup art show at the Atlanta Contemporary. This evening at 6:30. Artist Talk starts at 7.
So you going over there after this?
Right, yeah. See you at 5. laughing and talking fast. So getting ready to go to that.